Okay, Divya says I'll be opening in a while. So thank you, Divya, for your message. I look forward to seeing you in a while. Okay. Okay. So can everyone see the screen? Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up, Jayesh and Vishnu. So the topic of the webinar today is love yourself. We have talked about love throughout our lives, and we've come to understand love in different ways. We've all had our share of experiences as far as love is concerned. We've fallen in love, and some have risen in love. What are those love experiences and how they have shaped our life? We look at it today, and how it is so fundamentally important to establish this very first relationship in yourself. We typically say that my first love was such and such person. Now, today, here where I am in my life, I would say my first love is myself, and I love myself dearly from the bottom of my heart. And it is this relationship of love that allows me to share my love with the world, that allows me to expand my existing relationships even further and nurture them with love, not constrain those relationships. And that also allows me to create more nurturing relationships, which in which love can flow both ways. So just to quickly talk about my journey, I was just discussing this to begin with. I was born in a typical middle class Indian family living in New Delhi. And I was completely conditioned and trained in conventional education. My family is very conservative, and the beliefs that got established for me was that everything for me in the world was my family, their happiness and joy. From the word go, I could never establish a relationship with my own self. Who am I? What are my needs, how I can fulfill them, and whether or not I have a right to fulfill those needs. Do I have a right to personal space and time? So without that understanding, I spent all of my time and energy in pleasing other people, in seeing them happy, because seeing other people happy made me feel happy. And in doing this, like, there is no problem in making other people happy. It is really beautiful. But I was always sacrificing my own self in doing this. I was always exploiting my own self. I would go to extents of pushing my boundaries of rest, my boundaries of recreation to please other people. And I chose to do things that I would really not enjoy myself. So you see, they were not nurturing me. And if something is not going to nurture me, it's really not going to nurture somebody else towards the end. We can really understand this with a simple analogy. If we have a mango tree in the backyard, and the mango tree doesn't nurture itself, it produces all of this through photosynthesis, all of these carbohydrates and stuff, and it gives that out to everybody else, but like does not use that to nurture its stem, to nurture its branches, to nurture its leaves, and eventually nurture a fruit. The tree will fall very quickly. Like, this giving will not serve anyone. The tree itself will fall very quickly. So this is what happened with me, and I faced a lot of health issues. I was diagnosed with diabetes, with a tumor in the base of my head, which was a pituitary gland tumor, and I had IBS, and my emotions were all over the place. I was essentially a living nightmare. And then I went through this entire medical, modern medicine to heal myself, but that didn't help me. And I went through multiple surgeries and so on and so forth. It was only until my son came into my life and my love towards my son allowed me the courage to explore life and take steps beyond established boundaries, which is when I moved from Delhi to Dharamshala to the mountains. Because mountains are a place that I've really, really loved. Like being in the mountains has always nurtured me. I could not take that step for myself. You have to see this here. Uh, God was very kind to give me a son, and through this effort of taking care of my son and giving him the best, I chose the mountains because I thought, okay, mountains means nature and fresh air, fresh food, fresh water, and that will nurture him. And as a side effect, it nurtured me as well. After I moved to the mountains, my life completely changed. I changed the way I looked at life. I changed my business, and I was doing things that were nurturing me and that were giving me more and more joy. And a joyful person, a nurtured plant, nurtures everybody that comes in its contact. I was bearing immense fruit, and that fruit I was sharing with the world. I bought a piece of land, started farming on that, built a mud house. In a nutshell, it was a beautiful journey. And then in the later half of the journey, I had not figured it all. I started feeling anxious and stressed when my family wouldn't accept me for what I was doing. And for a while, for a few years, I couldn't really figure it out that what was going wrong. All of this was happening on autopilot mode, and I was still not, connected to my body. Whatever I was doing, I was just serving ideas in my head, idea to eat good food, or I would even watch a movie if it would be really violent and there would be blood in the movie, because it was just an idea of fun. I was essentially serving those ideas. My love was to the ideas that I had in my head, and I was just serving them. I was not serving who I really was. We would now proceed to really discover that who I found out that I really was, and then I fell in love with that person forever. Okay, so this one is for everyone in the webinar. It's a questionnaire. I'll just give you like 2 or 3 minutes to go through these questions and answer them for yourself. Like it is not like an exact thing. It will just give you a vague idea. Like don't judge yourself for the answers that you have. Just take a few minutes. One is for rarely, four is for always. How often do you speak kindly to yourself? Give a one if you never speak kindly to yourself, a four if you always do that, and something in between, and similarly answer the other questions. I'll just give 2 or 3 minutes to everyone. Okay, is everyone done? You can type in the chat box to let me know if you're done. I'm not very good at using Zoom, so just pardon me if I take too much time in setting things up. Alright. Okay. Yeah. So I was just trying to figure out where the chat box is, and everyone says done. Divya says done. Jayesh says done. Himanshu says done. So, all right. So, one second. Yeah. So, each one of you has like scored themselves, and the scores really don't mean much, but just to give you a sense. And I think we would be like, these are 7 questions, and the top would be 28. And like, not a lot of us spend a lot of time thinking about our own needs, the needs of our body, the needs of our mind, the needs of our soul. And what is the soul, we will discover soon. And if your score is really low, we would figure out how to elevate the score. And not just the score, it is not about the score. And this is not an exam. We will figure out how to elevate your life. Because if the score is low, it reflects that you are missing the joy in life. You're missing the purpose of life that we so often talk about. And if that is the case, then you need to hang on till the end to really get those creamy parts of the practices we talk about that are so essential to integrate self-love into your life. All right. All right. Yeah. So the self. So what is the question I want to ask everyone is, what is the self? I would come back to the previous slide. Okay. Yeah. I jumped one slide. Can everyone, like, whoever wants to speak, please unmute your microphone, and can you please share what your ideas of the self? What do you think the self is? Yeah, just whatever. Like, there is no right or wrong here. Like, we are here to unravel our own brains, and the more you guys share, the more you will be able to connect to what we are going to discuss.
Hey, Prab. So I'll go first, I guess. So with the self, what I understand is it's this being who is enjoying the experiences of life and sometimes being disheartened by the experiences of life. And when I think of myself, I think of, like we were talking earlier, the clothes that I choose to wear and the way I want to project myself to another or to myself. Yeah, that's how I usually perceive of myself as. I have this body, but like there is something within this that is me.
Sure, Jayesh. Thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful. And like Jayesh just said, like self is the one that is enjoying all of these experiences in life and choosing to wear a particular shirt, choosing to pursue music as a career, and like imposing things on other people, so on and so forth. It is the one like doing all of these things in the background. So that's very interesting. We'll hold on to that thought. Anybody else? Anyone else would like to share their viewpoint on how they look at it when they say like myself and yourself, or when you say I, what do you mean? Or when you say me, what do you mean?
I can go next.
Yeah, sure, Vishnu.
Okay. So I have two ideas, right? So there is one concept of self, which is the eternal, unchanging self, right? It is that part of me which has never really changed. It is just bearing witness to my life. Like the cells of my body may change, my ideas are changing, my visions are changing, my hopes and aspirations are changing. But there is this one part of me that has always remained the same. And so this is one, but I always don't identify with this self, you know, like more often than not, I would end up identifying with the idea of Vishnu, And then as Vishnu as the self, then I have this like my body, and it's like how people perceive me, and it's like how I perceive myself, and how I perceive my accomplishments, and how I perceive my failures, and how I perceive my successes. And so all of that comes into the other sense of self. And yeah, usually I notice like a huge difference depending on which sense of self I'm operating from. Yeah, so that's how I would put it personally.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vishnu, for sharing that. That's beautiful. And that helped me learn also a few things. And just to reiterate what Vishnu is saying is there are these two selves that Vishnu seems to oscillate between. One is this fixed self, which is unchanging, which is always there. Even when he was a child, it was there and it was like that. And even now it is there. It is unchanging. And it is the one which is seeing everything, which is witnessing everything from like just like probably a person sitting inside a theater and witnessing a drama in the theater, right? That person is just seeing. And then it is the self which is playing out all the acts, which is playing the act of, let's say, a son or a student or a teacher or a player or a lover, whatever, like playing all of those acts. And then he's saying he can tends to identify more with that self and with the ideas of that self. And the character of this self is it keeps changing. As we learn new things about the world, we establish new beliefs and the idea of this self change. So it is ever changing, and the other one is always there. So that's the bottom line that comes out of this. All right. Is there one else who would like to share? Mukesh, आप कुछ शेयर करना चाहेंगे? Would you like to share something?
No, Sabir, I'm just listening to you, and I would like to listen.
Okay.
Listen
All
to
right.
me.
So we'll move forward. So the self we are not, the or the ever-changing self, I would say, which Vishnu talked about. And so the quote below is, you will never find yourself in what you have built to define yourself. You are the one who is doing the building. You may assemble the most amazing collection of thoughts and emotions, but it is not you. Which is why we all have this sense of void, this sense of hollowness of who we are, what the purpose of life is, where we are headed. Like at different points in time, this question might have arisen for you because we so closely identify with what we are building for ourselves. This is Prab, who excels in all exams at school. This is Prab, who gives love to all his relatives. This is Prab, who uh, is facing such and such health issues. This is Prab, who has such and such ideas uh, about politics, about nationality, about nations, about democracy. And these ideas keep changing. And then we identify with newer ideas, but then they change again. So you see, they do not give us a stability. While there is nothing wrong with identifying them, these ideas allow us to engage in the world, but they keep changing and they don't give us a solid ground to stand on. Which is why, we face this statement that you are ungrounded, and we find that so many people are more and more ungrounded in this information age where we reside so much in the mind, so much in the thought. Today, I would be like a vegetarian, and tomorrow I am a non vegetarian. These thoughts can change so quickly, but I am still the same. So the person which is still the same, or the self which is still always the same, is the witness. The only thing you really want from life is to feel enthusiasm, joy, and love. If you can feel that all the time, then who cares what happens outside? Like if we always keep identifying with the ideas of self, there is suffering. Like in Buddha Dharma, they talk about suffering. That suffering is uh, uh, comes along with life. Because if when we engage too much in life, we engage a lot with our ideas, and then if somebody else has a different idea, and we are not open enough to change ourselves, we are too fixated on our idea of self, and that is giving us security at that time. Changing that idea makes us feel insecure. How many times have you seen that in a discussion, when another person comes with a completely opposite point of view, you feel a little movement inside of your chest, right? You feel that your voice modulation starts to change, your breathing starts to change. Why is this happening? These are signs from the body that I am feeling discomfort in the mind. And the discomfort is in the mind is coming from holding on to those ideas. And letting go can only happen if we understand that we are the witness, we are the watching, we are the soul. It is the soul that is witnessing the drama, the beautiful drama of this world through this body, and it is witnessing it through the thoughts, the mind, the emotions. So essentially, we have a body, we have a mind, our essential vehicles to enjoy in this world. This has been given to us to as a ship, to a sailor, to sail through the beautiful oceans of the world. The more we take care of our vessel, the better the ride is going to be. If a sailor would neglect the ship, neglect all its alarms, will not service it on time, it will soon sink. It will not be, you will not be able to sail this ship to the next island and witness all the beauty. You'll not be able to sail it to the next iceberg and navigate it to clearly ward off the iceberg and still come through safe. So that is the idea I wanted to first of all bring to your awareness. So essentially what we are saying is we are not the body and mind, but we have the body and mind. And it is up to us how good we take care of this body and mind. Now I want to introduce another concept to you, which was super helpful to me. And Vishnu, who was talking about these two selves, only shared this idea with me. And I have been practicing this since. And it has really transformed my life in all ways. So it is this, that we are not a single entity. We are a super organism, a universe within a universe, an accumulation of 150 trillion cells. Like 150 trillion cells is a huge number. So just imagine this, like your body has a 50 trillion cells and 100 trillion microbes in your gut. And all of these are coming together to make your body and mind function. If any of these cells decide to go on a strike, or decide that, okay, no, today I'm going to just watch TV, or I'm going to just keep eating irrespective of my hunger, or today I'm going to just talk shitty to myself, abuse myself. Like any of these cells would go on a strike, your health starts to go down. And when a bunch of cells do that, in an absence of care for your body, then you feel health issues. And like the worst of that is what we are facing today. The things like cancers and the tumors, what I faced in my life is because of this neglect. My cells could not survive even when they wished to take care of me, because I did not choose to take care of them. It's a both ways relationship. But irrespective of what we do with our body, you have to see this, that they are always working for us 24 by 7. While I'm speaking to you right now, is anybody aware that you're breathing right now? Is anybody aware that food is getting digested in your stomach? Is anybody aware that old cells are being eliminated and new cells are getting generated every moment? Is anybody aware that your red blood cells are carrying energy and oxygen to each and every cell in your body? And they are doing that without asking anything. Now, here you have the role of a godly being, because you are the one that can nurture these cells back. And the more you nurture them, the better they can perform, the better they can take care of this entire community, which is your body. So, if you would want to have an amazing experience in life and be that captain that discovers all the new islands in this life, you would really want to give love to each and every cell, to nurture each and every cell in your body. How many of you feel that you should do this? Type a yes in the chat box. Sorry. All right. So, yeah, we do feel that we need to nurture the cells, right? And but the thing is, how should we nurture the cells in our body which are working for us all the time without asking a single question? The first and foremost is to recognize this, to recognize the beauty in this process, to recognize the love in this process. They are doing this all the time, tirelessly. Like, this seeing in itself is transformative. Your own vessel is a vessel of love. Your own vessel is a vessel built on the foundations of love. There is a temple that you are residing in, a temple which has love in its foundation. We all must have heard the concept of seva. Like, what higher form of seva can there be? Each and every cell in your body is serving you tirelessly as we would serve God Almighty. So, for the cells, we are actually a godly being. Recognize this fact and take this responsibility. Be the best captain of the ship. Acknowledge them for all the work that they are doing. Give love to them. Thank them. Like, what I practice almost every day is, while I'm taking a bath or even when I'm sitting, I touch my hand, thank the cells of my fingers, touch my heart, like touch my face and thank it. Like, wow, you're so amazing. Thank you so much. And wherever I'm feeling stress or stagnation, I touch it and say, baby, it's fine. It's going to be okay. Because I do get neck pain at times. This is what I do. Baby, it's okay. Thank you for all doing all that you've done for me, and you'll keep doing for me. And I see this, and I'm here for you. We'll get this together. I love you. I love you from the depth of my hearts. And when I do this, my entire body relaxes. Like, I'll just ask each one of you to try this right now. Just close your eyes and imagine this community in your own body and give love to it. Recognize them for who they are. Acknowledge their effort. Thank them and give love to them. Feel it from your heart. Just take 5 minutes. We'll all do this together.
विवेक, वो आप कहते हो ना कि आमंड मिल्क से चाय अच्छा नहीं बनेगा, मसाला चाय।
All right, so I'll welcome everyone back. So would anyone like to share their experience?
Sure. I don't mind. That felt
Good.
really, really good. It just felt like we lose sense of our self in the daily activities of life, and just to even like breathe within myself, I just felt very present. Like, like there was so much more within me that I think I often forget, and just it felt like I really reconnected with myself when I did this. It felt really nice. It felt really, really good.
Wow, that is so nice, Jayesh. So good to know that.
Thank you. Thank you for making us do that.
It's my pleasure. I'm so grateful I could share this with you. Anyone else would like to share something?
Thank you, Prabji, for
Anji.
giving such a feeling short of words. Such a nice opportunity to connect with my own self. uh, with the hustle in the life, we hardly get the time to see ourselves. And the thing that you told is we are made of cells. We are made of cells. A body. I touched my hands right now, as you said. It was feeling very nice, very amazing. I never done this before. It's nice.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, PSG. Thank you so much for sharing. And you're so right, Jayesh and Nukesh. When I started doing this practice, I thought that I am waiting for people to give me love. I am waiting for people to lovingly touch my body, to say loving words to me. But what am I doing to my own body, to my own self? Why am I not giving love to it? Why am I not touching it everywhere with the love, with the compassion, with the care, with the recognition that I acknowledge all that you do for me? So, this acknowledgement, this love is so fulfilling to the extent that you are complete in your own self. You are a universe in your own self, and you are the godly being in this universe. Only that we have shied away from our own responsibility towards our own self. And then we are waiting for other people to recognize us for who we are without the fundamental premise of our own recognition of our own self. So I would urge all of you to carry on with this experience as a daily practice. It really helped me transform my life. And as you can see, even doing this for 5 minutes for me has probably changed my own voice modulation right now. I am feeling much calmer. Like none of us is perfect here. The more we practice, the better we become. We just assign like a minute in 24 hours to ourselves when the entire 24 hours belongs to us. Such is the relationship. From neglect, from rejection, from criticism, we can transform this relationship to acknowledgement, acceptance, gratitude, love. Imagine if we are able to do so much in life by neglecting ourselves. What would life be if we transform this relationship to the first and most beautiful relationship in our lives? Who is going to invest in this relationship? My mother, my wife, my son, my best friend, my neighbor? None of them. Would Virat Kohli invest in this relationship? Watching a cricket match, would that enhance this relationship? That would just be serving mere ideas in the head. And ideas is not who I am. I am real here. It is this body through which I am experiencing this world. So a few things I can share with you is, now when we take this responsibility as the captain of the ship, how do we feed our body? We have eyes. What do we feed our eyes? Do we feed it beauty? Do we feed it beauty of this entire world, natural beauty and colors and beautiful scenes? Or do we feed it miserable content on social media? It's our choice. We have a mouth. What do we feed it? Do we feed it food when we are hungry to nurture each and every cell in our body? We have ears. What do we feed them? Do we feed them traffic noise, violent songs, like the noise of people shouting? Or do we feed it music? Do we feed it singing, our own voice, the pleasing sound of our own voice? Like in Gurbani, there is a verse, Gaviye suniye man rakhiye pao. Well, it means to sing, to listen with the love in the heart. And who do you listen to? Yourself. When you sing, you listen back. Because when we are singing, we are praising and glorifying the universe within our own selves. We are singing to ourselves. We have babies. We have 150 trillion babies to take care of. We can sing to them. We can say loving things to them. I say this so often, I love myself. Like I love myself to the core of my heart. I am so beautiful. I look at a mirror and say this to myself. You can all practice this. What do we like touch our body with? Just plastic or a car seat, uh, whatever, an uncomfortable bench? Or do we, touch the body with beautiful textures? These things are so natural for kids. They enjoy the senses to the hilt. They explore their senses and they avoid what is uncomfortable and they get attracted to what is enjoyable and comfortable. But we feed the body based on our own biases कि ये तो करना पड़ता है. But the fundamental thing is joy. You have to feed joy to the body. And what do we feed our mind? Do we feed it, random conversations on politics, on who is right and who is wrong? Do we feed it some random movies, Bollywood movies that have no contribution to your life? Or do we feed it poetry, beautiful books? Like books are so amazing. Like people have condensed the gems of their lives in short snippets, and you can use them to transform your own life. Do we feed it those books, that knowledge, that information, that poetry, that singing? So this is a choice that we need to make. So the love who we are, just to reiterate, we recognize who we are, the witness who has a body and a mind, and witness without entanglement. Now you have a body and a mind to experience this reality. Witness this reality through this body and mind and take the best care of your vessel. The union, I will very quickly talk about this, which is like we are not just one self. We are a conglomerate of selves. Like we have a past, we have a present, and we have a future. And most of us, we have a very, so to say, a not great relationship with our past. We have complaints, we have grudges, we have guilt, we have resentment, and we have all of that for other people and even for ourselves. Like, I didn't do my best at that particular point in time. I could have done better. We beat our own selves to death. So we can integrate all our selves, all our past selves. We can go back to all our past selves, talk to them, write letters to them. Like I've started speaking to myself, which was diagnosed with the tumor, and started giving it love. I tell it, it's okay. You will sail through it. We got this. I love you so much. There's nothing wrong with you. Because at that point in time, I used to think, what is wrong with me? Why am I suffering with this disease? Why is everyone better? Why am I the victim? And I go back and tell it, you are okay. You're perfect. You're fine. There's no problem with you. We've got this. I love you. I love you so much. I'm giving you my love. Just stay positive. You're okay. We can go back to all of our past versions, heal our past, forgive our past, acknowledge our past, and thank us for how we did our best. Because we all know that at every point in time, each one of us does our best. We never consciously say, no, I am not doing my best. We all have done whatever we have done our best. So we can only have gratitude. We can thank ourselves for being who we were and for our future selves, because the problems we are facing right now, the challenges we are facing right now, we know that our future self has transcended those challenges, has risen above. So we can seek guidance from our future self. We can seek intuition. We can, whenever we are stuck, we can't make a decision, we can seek guidance. We can pray to our future self. Please help us. Please guide us. And trust me, it will answer you back. We can seek support from it. So this is how you integrate your past, present, and future. And I call this the union. The first union has to happen within yourself. And people so quickly get into a marriage and call that a union, when the union is inside. In Gurbani, the word that is used is Anand Karaj for this union. Anand meaning joy, that ecstasy, and Karaj, the doing for Anand, for joy. So whatever we are doing in life, we can choose it for our own joy. Okay, so after covering those concepts, I would like to share some thumb rules for you on how you can nurture yourself. So first is nurture yourself. Like, always look at life, that whether the experiences that you're choosing for yourself are nurturing you or not, and choose the ones that nurture you. If you have a friend over and the friend is just gossiping and complaining, that is not nurturing your mind, right? Now you have to gather the courage for your own self to choose to not meet that person, or choose to say that I have some things to do. Bye bye. Because you are the one responsible for your ship. Only choose nurturing experiences, because the soul is here for joy, not for resentment, not for complaints, not for being miserable. Second, be guided by joy. Like, you can look at a child in your house. How do they make decisions in life? They don't think about them. They don't overthink. They are guided by joy. You are doing what you are for joy. Make the most of it. Like, if you're confused between two things, choose the one that will give you more joy. Now you'll ask me this question, that then how will I complete such and such things if I keep seeking joy? You have to use all of these thumb rules together. And a lot of things, like, you might think that, okay, I'll watch television for joy. But then you will question yourself, is it nurturing you? It's not nurturing you, right? So eventually the things that you will choose will nurture you and will also nurture your life. Explore possibilities. Do not be bounded by beliefs. Explore more and more possibilities beyond your box, to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself, to address your needs. Flow, not stagnate. Do not cling or resent, because flow is what gives us energy. Like, stagnating on things and overthinking, or having grudges and resentment and just chewing on that, it blocks the flow of energy. And blocked flow of energy leads to blockages in your body. And that is what manifests as health issues. When you release, energy starts to flow, your body starts to heal. Your body is just a manifestation of your mind. They say that the body is the gross mind and the mind is the subtle body. They are both related. A positive mind and a positively affirming mind will create a healthy body, and a nurtured body will create a nurtured mind. And lastly, be a watchman. Always watch things, don't get involved in them, don't get entangled in them. Like, why did my girlfriend talk rudely to me? If she talked rudely to me, either she is bad or I am bad. No, just watch the drama. Like, there's some belief going on in our head which her is making her angry. You can have compassion for her and just watch it. If your parents are getting like angry with you, just watch the drama. If you are getting angry, watch that drama too, and that will help you uncover the patterns inside your brain that is making you angry. An example of a pattern might be like, let's say your husband has thrown the towel somewhere and the clothes somewhere, and you have to tidy the house and you get angry. Now you watch this pattern. The pattern is that if my husband doesn't tidy his things, I need to get angry. And the revised affirmation is, I can be relaxed and calm irrespective of how my husband behaves. And then out of self-love, you can choose to say this to the husband, that this is not my responsibility. You can't throw the towel on the bed because we share the bed. Otherwise, you can throw it on the road or anywhere else. But yeah, you please take care of your own belongings. But we choose not to say that. We suppress ourselves. Why? Are we too afraid? And in suppressing that, we are rejecting our own selves. And if we reject ourselves, there is no wonder like the entire world will reject us and then abuse us and use us. All right. The 5 practices that I would like you to use is: number 1, labeling. When you watch the thoughts in your mind come and go, just label them: angry thought, anxious thought, jealous thought, overthinking, whatever. This will help you separate from your thoughts and you will not get involved in the thoughts. This separation is very important to establish because typically we get so involved in the thoughts that we become the thoughts. When we see anger, we become the anger. We don't need to become the anger. We can watch the anger by labeling it angry thought. So start practicing this from today, speaking to the heart. Whenever you're feeling anxious or any negative emotions, you can speak to the heart and calm it down. It's okay, baby, rub it here. You'll be fine. You don't have to worry about this. We'll take care of this. सब ठीक है. Chill मारो. So it's okay यार. कुछ नहीं, कोई problem नहीं है. All is well. All is well. Fourthly, move the body. Because moving the body, thirdly, feed yourself feelingly. Feel your body. Eat feelingly. And when you feel the body, you will only eat when you are hungry. While you're eating, feel the body. You will not overeat. After you've eaten, feel the body. You will know which foods are good for you. So the entire compass is inside your body. Feed yourself feelingly. You don't need to read tons of books, how much water to drink, what to eat. Just feel. You will know what is good for you. And then move your body in enjoyable ways. You don't need to force yourself to do a particular exercise. Even dancing, I've discovered that. Like, it's such an amazing practice. Just move your body in all enjoyable ways, in various ways that you have not. Explore the various movement positions and limits of your body. Get to know your body. Who else will know your body? And movement is such a fantastic way. Children do that. They move in all sorts of random ways. Fifthly, rest. As much as you go through your daily stuff, rest is very important. Sleep is fundamental to health. It is when your body regenerates, heals. So rest, have a good sleep practice. Have a fixed time to go to bed, a, a fixed place to sleep in. Read something good before going to bed. Calm yourself down. Meditate before going to bed. Meditate after waking up. Read good stuff before going to bed. Read good stuff after waking up. Don't read the newspaper. It is junk. It is full of all garbage news, which you can't have an impact on and which is not adding any value to your life. Read something engaging. Learn a new skill. So labeling, speaking to the heart, feed yourself feelingly, move and rest. And lastly, the 5 principles. 1, let go. 2, let go. 3, let go. 4, let go. 5, let go. As I said, always be in a flow. Whenever you find yourself stuck, whenever you find yourself stuck with the same thought in your head, whenever you find yourself stuck in the same place, let go, move on. Once you let go, stuck energy starts to flow. And like, believe you me, letting go can transform your life tremendously. Letting go makes energy flow through you. And since you are a vessel of, you are a, a channel of energy, and energy needs to flow through you, which is why people have these energy chakras which are blocked. Most importantly, the heart chakra gets blocked. The heart chakra gets blocked, people get all sorts of health issues. Heart is the energy center, it is the love center. Once you let go, the heart relaxes, and a relaxed heart creates a relaxed body. Let go, let go. Okay, this is a repetition. Okay. Yeah, that's it from my side. And I'm sorry for, I wanted to do this in 45 minutes. Yeah, for taking all that long. And I welcome any questions, experience sharing, feedback, most importantly, and yeah, whatever, just it's all yours. And I'll request everyone to switch on their cameras. Those of you who have not, it'll be really lovely to see you. I'm seeing Ukesh, Vishnu, Jayesh, and a lot of names, but no faces. Great. Anyone has anything to share? Any questions to ask?
I can go. Thank you so much for sharing this, Prab. This was very nice. Yeah, it was really good to see this. If you want, you could actually stop sharing your screen now so that everyone can see everyone else as well.
All right. Yeah, I am still learning this. So stop share. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this, brother. It was really nice. Happy to see this. Yeah. Nice reminder for some points. And yeah, it's very good to always reflect on what we're doing in life, and how we can create more love in our life. And yeah, because that's the essence. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu. It's my pleasure to share. And I have learned a lot from you over the past few months. And I thank you as well. Thank you so much.
Prabji, I would like to say thank you to you from the core of my heart. From the last few days, I was a bit in some personal, facing some personal issues, and I was desperately in search of such type of a session or meeting. And today, when I saw this message, I thought that God is giving me again this opportunity to learn something about self-love. Huh? I just have to say thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. And it's been my pleasure completely. And like you're right, God does all of this in so many amazing ways. And we had just met once, and I had saved your number. And just like that, I sent that message to you as well. I don't know, it had to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, seeing your message today and even on this topic, it was really amazing to me. You can't even understand what I was going through recently, and it was really it's like a blessing, God blessing to me. And thank you, Prabjeet. I personally, I'm feeling that you delivered this session for me.
Oh,
So thank you so much.
my
एक
pleasure,
वो
my pleasure.
मूवी का डायलॉग है ना, आमिर खान की एक मूवी का एक डायलॉग आता है कि यदि आप किसी को बड़ी शिद्दत से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात आपको उससे मिलाने में जुट जाती है ना. So
Right.
this session is something like this to me.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Prab, thank you so much for today's session. Like, though I have been in some of the practices that you did mention today, uh, being reminded of kind of revisiting these concepts and, how important and how life-changing they can be, even if we are giving it even like a couple of minutes in a day. And, it just puts everything else into so much better perspective. Like you said, we have to nurture ourselves if we expect that to happen from someone else. We have to first begin within, right? So thank you so much for that beautiful reminder. And yeah, thank you so much for today.
My pleasure, Jayesh. And I do agree with you. And I've seen this that a shift in perspective is so important. And at the beginning of the day, just having this clarity, like why am I here? And why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I choosing these experiences for me, myself? And that really, really transforms your entire day. And
Mhm,
sometimes we are in such a haste out of the beliefs and programming we have even in our head, and we
mhm.
seem to be racing to like this some finish line that we have in our head for that day. Like there is no finish line. It's a false idea. Like you
True.
have to start here. We take so much care of our car and motorcycle that we ride every day, but we forget this vehicle, right? And to begin
Yeah.
with, we have to give it all that love and nurturing and grounding, that orientation, that where am I headed? So yeah, I do agree with you. Thanks for sharing this.
Mhm. I think you reconnected. Your network dropped out in
Yeah,
between for
my
a bit, I think.
network dropped out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else has something to share or any questions?
Prabjeet, could you help me with my one question? How to implement letting go in our very personal relations? Sometimes it becomes difficult to apply this let go in personal relations. Do you have any tip?
Yeah, there are a few things. Like one is we have these ideas of relationships in our heads. For example, let us say a relationship between a father and a son. So I would have this idea that he's my father and vice versa. And when I am operating out of this idea, then I would have fixed expectations from the other person and fixed expectations out of myself. So, in a way, these roles are very bounding and they don't allow me to see outside of the myopic view that we have for that relationship. कि अगर ऐसा है तो सही है, ऐसा है तो गलत है. Right? If my father has to give money to me if I need, let us say I have that belief between in this relationship between my father and a son because I have experienced that since childhood from my father, and I am expecting this, and I go to him and I ask for money and he's like, enough, you take care of yourself. and I get pissed off about it, and I'm like angry with him, and I am thinking about him throughout the day. My energy has shifted. I'm feeling tight in the body, and I'm feeling more, imagining more and more things about him, about how bad he is, about how he's not trying to help me. And then the mind starts to imagine more and more stories which are not even grounded in reality. Like the other person mostly would be doing their best at their own end, given their own circumstances and context. We can give it to them. Like they must be trying to do their best because we are trying to do our best. They are not bad, crazy people. Just that they have had different upbringing and they have an environment and they are being exposed to different kinds of stress and conditioning, and which they're stuck in those beliefs. So we can just give it to them that they must be doing their best and then take responsibility for ourselves. Let go of these expectations कि अगर वो अब ऐसा करेगा तो I will be happy in this relationship. We can give all of those things to ourselves, and then like eventually I will say, if the relationship is such that it is not nurturing you in any way, then let go of the relationship. First of all, let go of the idea of the relationship in your head. Like I have seen that most of all, for example, in my relationship with my wife, I had grown up in a family where women are treated like trash. And it's assumed that every household task belongs to the women, and you can say anything to the women, and they are not empowered to answer you back, and so on. And these ideas were completely drilled in my head. So I had to really work hard, and still I am, to transform my relationship with my wife. I would expect so many things from her. And like if I would look at my wife and she's like, this man is expecting so much from me, it is not nurturing me. Like she is in her own right, she can let go of that relationship. But like all not all people will realize that I am being violent to myself and my wife in hanging on to my beliefs about a husband and wife relationship based on a conventional Indian family. Like we are two people. Like at the core of it, we are two people. I am Prab and she's Kiran. Like why can't we operate out of that understanding? We are two people. We are two people who love spending time with each other, who enjoy each other's company, and we collaborate a lot in things, which is when a relationship is of value. Like if a relationship is being put together only by this idea, then it has no value, I would say. Only by this idea that we are husband and wife and I have to serve this relationship, then that is a very servile relationship. You are exploiting yourself in serving that relationship. So I would say, first of all, let go of those roles कि मैं वाइफ हूं और वो हस्बैंड है. Like मैं राम हूं और वो गीता है. That's it. And we are friends. Like we are two people who are traveling on this planet, and both of us want to have a fun experience. And I am free in my own right. If like Geeta does something which is crossing my boundaries and she's expecting something from me, I can tell plainly to her, like I have never made this commitment, so you can just get this expectation out of your head. And if she doesn't get that expectation out of my head, out of her head, like at least I can get it out of my head. And the other thing we were having, like Vishnu and I were having this very discussion this morning. And the other thing is, like once you make the changes inside of your head, reality changes outside. Like if you change the definition of the relationship for yourself inside of your head, that we are friends, we are equal human beings. Once you establish that idea and start operating from that idea, outside reality will respond to it. Because the outside world is just a mirror. Because if you step back and see, why are we in this world? This world is just a game. The world is just showing us a mirror to help us grow. Whatever difficulties we face, whatever experiences we have, they are essentially to transform us and and help us in our growth. Like an experience which brings to our awareness a pattern in my head, which is like, I am a husband and she's a wife, and I need to earn money and she needs to clean the house. And when that pattern is shattered, I can feel angry. The other is I can thank life for showing me this pattern inside of my head, which I can heal and let go of. Once I let go of that pattern, reality outside changes now to give me something new to learn. And until I choose to let go of that pattern, reality will keep repeating itself, which is when people say that we are stuck in the same pattern. It will keep, nature will keep, universe will keep giving you reminders through different experiences of, like, this is so like common. Like, I'm saying generally for women in India, I've seen my mother, they accept abuse, they accept exploitation. And because of the fact they accept it, they keep getting exploited. Because, like, life does not want them to be miserable. Life is like, the universe is like a father to a son giving all the love. That, brother, look at this. This is what you need to work on. Let go of this idea that you are a lower human being and you need to be exploited. I am giving you these experiences again and again so that you can understand this. And the responsibility is only with you. Nobody will come and help you because the training is happening. It's your own training. Like, for example, if somebody is training to be a boxer and they can't throw the right punches and they are blaming the coach. This is what we do. We blame God, we blame life. Or if the opponent throws a better punch and hits on our face, we can't blame the opponent. Why are you so good? Like, when the opponent throws a punch and I'm not able to defend, it points at an area of growth for me, that my defense is weak. My defense is weak. Now, the takeaway can be, instead of having resentment for the opponent or the coach, I can be happy. I can have gratitude for that experience and go back and practice my defense. So, like, each life experience is exactly telling you the areas you need to work on. Only if we step out of the entanglement of the roles, the entanglement of the thoughts and emotions, we are able to see them. Because otherwise, we are not the witness. We are not seeing the drama. We are too involved in the drama. And when we are too involved in the drama, we can't see what is going on. Like, we are so busy getting angry, getting guilty, getting like pissed off. We are so busy expecting. पता ही नहीं चल रहा हो क्या रहा है. We can't step back and see. Like, unless we let go, give ourselves love for the love that we have for our own selves. हम किसी के लिए हमें step back नहीं करना, let go नहीं करना, कि वो हमें ही अपने लिए करना है. Does that like make any sense?
Definitely. Definitely. It was nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for elaborating in such a deep way. And the example was also nice. Father-son duo is nice. Actually, presently, I'm facing some issue with my father. There is some ideological issues.
Yeah.
So it's I have to come out of that father-daughter's duo relationship. Only then I think I could figure out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So nice.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Can I add something to this?
Yeah, please.
Go ahead, Vishnu.
Yeah. Like, as you just mentioned that you're having like this father-daughter thing. So probably, you see, what happens many times is we keep waiting hoping for the other person to change. Like that is our whole battle in life, thinking ki bhai, why can you not see what I'm saying? It is so simple.
Yeah.
Like itni hi to baat hai, matlab yaar itna common sense hai, logic is simple hai. Like why are you fighting me? Like you sent me to school, you sent me to college, you wanted me to become intelligent, and I gained all this knowledge and I understood all these things. Now I'm telling you something and then you want to fight me, right? But now you see, this is the whole point of letting go, which is that as long as we are mentally involved, it doesn't matter if you're in the same room, same house, it doesn't matter. Like you might be in one part of India and your father is in another part of India. Still, the moment you're thinking about him, you're both like energetically connected to each other's. And even if you're having like these negative, unpleasant thoughts, like you're just fighting with him in your mind, right? But you're energetically in that moment connected to him. And in order to drop this, you don't need him to change. You can change. You can let go. You can drop that resistance from your side, right? And the way you can let go, first of all, is to stop seeing yourself as the daughter. Free yourself from that role of being stuck in being daughter and just see yourself as an individual human being. Right? Because like what happens is when you finally see yourself as an individual human being, then you will have a different way of looking at your own time and energy. Because you can argue with your father for years and years, nothing will come out of it. So when you see yourself as a separate human, as just an individual being, you'll realize that there's no point in doing this anymore. And all of that things from inside you will drop off. And when you drop it completely from the inside, you will see a miracle happening on the outside. That suddenly your dad will stop caring about the thing that you were fighting him for the last 10 years.
Okay, it's a nice idea. I would try it. And definitely would share the experience back with Rupji.
Lovely.
So nice
Happy
of you,
to
sir.
hear that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyone else has any questions, anything I can elaborate on or go through again? Jaideep, Vibha, Sandhya, PR, anyone? Okay, if like there's no one else who wants to share, I think we can conclude the session today. And I would conclude it by thanking everyone who joined. And through their presence, they made this happen. Thank you, everyone, and you have a great day.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for doing this. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brab. Thank you so much.